I don't know you anymore. Victoria's 6 painful words destroy Holden. Holden's affair exposed. The rain was coming down over Genoa City. It was falling in sheets of water. This made the streets look really cloudy and gray. It was like the streets were washed in a bucket of cold water. This gray color matched the feelings that people had inside Newman Enterprises. The building was very tall. It looked very strong. It was like a monument that showed how powerful it was. Newman Enterprises was a place with a lot of history and a lot of secrets. These secrets never stayed hidden for a time. They always came out in the end. Victoria Newman was by herself in her office. She was looking out the windows that went from the floor to the ceiling. Her arms were crossed over her chest. She had not moved for a time. The phone on her desk was face down. It kept buzzing because of messages. Victoria Newman did not want to read these messages. Every time the phone buzzed it felt like something was going wrong with the life Victoria Newman had built over the years, both at work and at home. Victoria Newman had worked hard to get where she was. Now it felt like everything was falling apart. She was really proud of being in control. She liked things to be clear and easy to understand. The truth was important to her. She wanted to see it before things got out of hand and fell apart. She liked knowing what was going on with the truth before it became a problem. But today the truth really caught her off guard. The truth had come out of nowhere. Surprised her. She did not see the truth coming all. The truth was something that had blindsided her completely. Holden. The name itself made her stomach feel bad. It was like something was twisting inside her. The name brought back a lot of memories for her. A few hours before she would have said that Holden was a rock. He was someone she could count on. He knew what it meant to love a Newman. He was not afraid of all the things that happened because of her family name. She really trusted Holden, and she did not do this easily. She trusted him deeply. She trusted Holden. Now she was not sure she knew the man all. Victoria let out a breath and turned away from the window when she heard a knock at her door. The woman said, "Come in." Her voice was steady. You could tell she was a little nervous. The door opened slowly. There the man was. The man was standing in front of me. The door had opened slowly. Now the man was inside. Holden did not seem like himself. His shoulders were really tense. His jaw was clenched. Holden's eyes looked scared and guilty at the time. He looked like a man who was about to face a lot of trouble. He knew he had it coming to him. Holden seemed to think that he deserved to be in this situation. "Victoria," he said in a voice. "We need to talk about something, Victoria." She did not invite him inside. She did not offer him a seat. She simply stared at the man. Really looked at the man. As if she were trying to figure out the man standing in front of her and the man she thought she loved. The man she thought she loved was the man she had in her mind. The man standing in front of her was the real man. She was trying to match the two men, the man she loved and the real man, to see if they were the person. "Yes," she said. "We do have that. We really do." The truth finally comes out. We find out what is really going on with the truth. The truth is something that people want to know about. When the truth comes out, it can be a deal. People talk about the truth. What it means to them. The truth is important because it helps us understand things. We learn more about the truth. How it affects us. The truth comes out. It can change everything. People in Genoa City found out about this quickly. And that is what usually happens in Genoa City. It all began with a conversation at society. Someone sent a text message to the person by mistake. Then a name was mentioned in a place where it was not supposed to be. Holden's affair wasn't just a rumor anymore. It was fact. The woman was someone that Victoria actually knew. She was not just some stranger that Victoria had never seen before. The woman was definitely not a mistake that Victoria would forget about easily. The woman was someone that Victoria knew. Someone from their shared orbit. That really made the situation worse. The problem got bigger when that happened. The thing that was done made it worse. Much worse. Holden said, "You already know." He took a step into the office. He did not sound very sure of himself. He said, "I can see it on your face," and that made him sound like he was pretty certain about what the other person was thinking. Holden looked at the person. Said, "You already know," again, like he was waiting for them to say something. About what was going on with the office. Victoria's lips pressed together tight. She pointed to her desk not so he would sit down but to the folder that was open. On it, printed photos, time-stamped messages, hotel receipts. Victoria said this in a voice. She did not want to believe what was happening. Victoria thought to herself that there must be a reason for all of this. Victoria told herself that someone was probably trying to cause problems for Victoria and the people with her. She laughed one time. It was a laugh and it was not funny. I should have known better. Holden swallowed hard. Victoria, I did not mean for this to happen to the people at Victoria's place becomes. Holden swallowed hard. Victoria, I did not mean for this to happen to Victoria. So the final answer is. Holden swallowed hard. Victoria, I did not mean for this to happen to Victoria. Her eyes snapped up. They were sharp. They were unforgiving. She said, do not. Please. No. She took a step closer to him, her voice getting a little louder, loud enough to hurt. Do not even think about saying that to me. Not after everything that has happened with the two of us. There was an uncomfortable silence between them. It felt heavy. It was hard to breathe. The silence was like something that was pushing down on them, making everything feel suffocating. She said that she loved the person. The person was someone she trusted. She let the person into her life and into her family. She stopped talking. Her voice got really quiet. I really do not come across things like that often. The situation is very rare. For me. Holden's eyes got all teary. He said, I know I did something. I know I hurt you. That was not okay. What I did, it was not, for no reason. That was really the thing to say. Saying that was a mistake. The words that came out of your mouth were the thing to say. Victoria laughed again. This time you could tell it really hurt her. The pain was there, it was not hidden at all. Victoria's laugh did not sound funny this time, it sounded like Victoria was in a lot of pain. She said that like it was going to make everything okay. That you messed up our lives because of something that was important to you. He shook his head. That is not what the person is saying about the situation with the food. Then he added, that is not what I am saying about this at all. That is what you did. You have to remember that. It is a fact that you did that thing. The thing that you did. These 6 words can change everything around us. The 6 words are very powerful. When we hear these 6 words, they make us think about the 6 words and what the 6 words really mean. Sometimes the 6 words can be very sad. They make us feel bad when we think about the 6 words. The 6 words are able to shatter everything that we know about the 6 words and our lives. Victoria took a breath. It was a deep one. She could feel all the disappointment from the few years coming up. All the times people let her down, all the promises that were broken, all the men who said they were different but were not. Victoria thought about all the men who had hurt her, all the men who had made her feel bad. It was hard for her. Victoria felt like she had been disappointed many times and it was all coming back to her now. She looked at Holden dead in the eye. The woman was staring at Holden. Her voice did not waver. I do not know you anymore. You have changed much, that the person I used to know is gone. I look at you. I see a stranger. The things you do and say are not like the things you used to do and say. I feel like I do not know you anymore. 6 words. Simple. Devastating. The words they said hurt Holden more than if someone had yelled at him or hit him. They really hurt Holden. The words cut into Holden. The man took a step back like something had hit him hard. He said, that is not fair, in a quiet voice. Victoria's eyes got all teary. But not a single tear dropped. She did not want to give him the satisfaction of seeing her cry. Victoria just would not let him have that. Is that really fair? She said. You are talking about what's fair. She took another step closer. Now her voice was shaking. This was not because she was scared or weak. It was because she was extremely angry and trying hard not to show it. The anger was almost too much for her to handle. She was furious. It was taking a lot of effort for her to keep her feelings under control. I was standing by you when everyone else questioned your motives. It was right that I defended you to my father. It was right that I believed you when you said you were committed to the things you said you would do. I was being fair to you when I stood up for you. I was being fair. To you when I trusted what you had to say about being committed. The woman stopped a few inches from the man. She pointed back and forth between them. This thing, between them is a betrayal. Holden's voice cracked. He said I never stopped loving you and his words were really sincere. Holden's feelings, for you were still very strong. Victoria shook her head slowly. You do not cheat on the person you love, she said, looking at the person who did this. Victoria was talking about cheating on the person you love. The words really hit me. They were right. On. Fallout across Genoa City. The damage did not stop in that office. It kept on going. The damage was not just limited to that office. The damage from that office was really bad. It affected a lot of things. The office was the beginning of the damage. At Newman Ranch, Nikki felt that something was not right the moment Victoria walked in that evening. Victoria was late. Nikki noticed that her daughter was standing really straight. Her eyes were far away like she was thinking about something else. Nikki said softly to her, sweetheart, what is going on with you, sweetheart? Victoria stopped for a moment. Then she finally said something. It is over. Holden cheated on me with another person. He was not faithful to our relationship. Holden cheated on me. Nikki's face got really tough all of a sudden. That son of a... Victor was sitting in the living room when he heard something that made him turn around fast. He said, what? Victoria looked at her father. She said, it is taken care of. Victor's jaw got really tight. He said, nobody makes my daughter feel bad and gets away with it. Nobody does that to my daughter and just walks away. Victoria said, I want them to leave me alone, in a firm voice. She really means it when she says that. Victoria wants distance from these people. Victoria needs some space so she can be by herself. Victor looked at her for a long time, then he nodded. The way he looked at her with his eyes made it seem like Holden's life in Genoa City was going to get very tough. People were. The rumors just kept getting bigger and bigger. The gossip mill was really going crazy. Phyllis smirked when she heard the news. She said, I knew this would happen, with a smile, and then she said, called it. Billy felt really bad for someone who was hurt by a person they cared about. He knew how that felt because something like that had happened to him before. Billy understood what it was like to be hurt by someone you loved. What about the woman who is involved in this situation? The woman was gone from the eye completely. She was no longer seen anywhere. The woman just disappeared from view entirely. The bad thing had already happened. The damage was already done to the thing that got hurt. The damage was already. It could not be fixed now. Holden's regret. Holden was back at his apartment. He was sitting by himself in the dark. He kept thinking about what Victoria said. He thought about Victoria's words over and over in his mind. I do not know you anymore. He thought he could keep things separate. He thought he could handle all the lies. The lies were something he thought he could deal with. He was wrong. He picked up his phone. He was looking at Victoria's contact. Then he just put it down again. He was thinking about calling Victoria. He did not do it. There are some things that you just cannot make better with sorry. Some things are like that, they cannot be fixed with apologies. Some betrayals actually change the way we look at the past. These betrayals really did rewrite history. History is what we learn from. Some betrayals have changed what we know about history. Some betrayals rewrote history. Victoria is getting herself back. She is taking the time to focus on Victoria. What Victoria wants. Victoria has been through a lot. Now Victoria is reclaiming herself. This is a step for Victoria. Victoria is doing what is best for Victoria. Time went by. Then a lot of days passed. The days just kept passing one after the other, and before you knew it, many days had passed. Victoria buried herself in her work. She was sharper than when it came to meetings, and she made decisions quickly. Victoria was also more ruthless. There were no cracks in her. Victoria showed no weakness. When it gets late and everything is silent, the pain starts to bother me. The world is quiet at this time. That is when the pain comes. It is a feeling that the pain is always there even when everything else is calm, like the pain is waiting for the world to go quiet so it can creep in. It was not because she missed Holden. She did not really miss Holden much. The thing is, she just did not miss Holden. She felt this way because she missed the person she thought he was. Victoria was standing by herself at her window again. She said to herself never again in a quiet voice. Victoria was really serious. About this she did not want to do it. The words never again were coming from Victoria herself. She was not broken. The woman was different now. She was changed. Something about her was not the same as it used to be. The woman was changed. In Genoa City, this fact made the woman very dangerous. The people of Genoa City found her to be a threat because of it. Genoa City was not a place for her to be. Final beat. Holden would try to come. This is something that Holden always did. Victoria Newman had made it very clear where she stood. She was not going to back down from what she believed in. Victoria Newman was firm on this. Would not change her mind about it. 6 words. And everything after them? Irreversible. The hardest part wasn't the anger. Victoria Newman figured this out on a quiet Sunday morning. She was standing by herself in her kitchen. The coffee in her hands was getting cold. Victoria Newman was just standing there thinking about things with her coffee in her hands. Anger was really loud. It demanded that you pay attention to it. Anger gave you a lot of energy. Anger was like a feeling that took over and would not be ignored. Anger made you want to do something about the situation that made you feel angry. What followed the betrayal was not anger. The feeling that came after the betrayal was something. It was not anger that people usually feel when they are betrayed. The betrayal did not make me angry. It was grief. She feels sad about the future that she thought could really happen. She is sad about all the talks that will never take place. She is sad about the person she used to be, the version of herself that had hope even if it was a hope and she had believed in it even if it was careful and smart, but she had believed in it anyway, and that is what hurts. She put the mug down and it was still full. She had not taken a sip of the drink in the mug. Today she let herself feel the emotion. The feeling that she had been trying to ignore for long, she finally allowed herself to feel it. It was a sensation, but she let the emotion wash over her and she felt it deeply. The feeling was overwhelming, at times. She still allowed herself to feel it. The apology that comes after everything is said and done is really not much of an apology. All saying sorry when it is too late does not fix the problem. The apology that comes late is just a few empty words. People say the apology that comes late to make themselves feel better. The apology that comes late is not about the other person, it is about the person who is saying sorry. Asterisk, the apology that comes late is not very helpful. Asterisk, it is something people say when they want to move on. The apology that comes too late does not change what happened. Holden stood outside her penthouse apartment for a long time, almost an hour. He was just waiting for her to come out or let him in or something. The penthouse was where she lived, so Holden was right outside her home waiting for her. He did not plan to surprise her. He did not plan anything, or he just knew that if he did not make an effort, he would feel bad about it for the rest of his life. When the elevator doors finally opened and Victoria stepped out, Victoria's face just stopped moving. Not surprise. Recognition. Acceptance. The woman told him that he should not be there. She said this in a calm voice. He said, "I know." He needed to tell the person this to their face. He wanted the person to hear the words from him directly, so he made sure to say it to their face. The person needed to see him and hear his voice when he said it. He needed to say it to the person's face. She thought about walking past the man. The woman considered this option. Walking past him seemed like a good idea. She would just walk past him. She just folded her arms. Said, "You have 5 minutes to do what you need to do with the computer." The man nodded his head. He felt thankful for that small thing. Holden started talking. He said, "I have replayed everything in my mind. Every single lie that I told. Every single moment when I chose myself over the people I care about over us. The thing is, there is not one single excuse that I can think of that makes any sense." Victoria kept an eye on him. He seemed to have lost some weight. He was tired. The things that had happened were really getting to him. You could see that the weight of all these consequences was wearing him down. Victoria thought that the consequences were taking a toll on him. She thought this was good. She was being honest with herself, not trying to be mean. She said that is growth. It is painful. The company needs it. The growth is painful. The growth is necessary. He told me that he loved me. He said it really fast. He said I loved you. Then he said I still do. He really meant it when he said that he loved me. The man said that he loved me and he still loves me. Victoria's gaze stayed the same.